We're here today. We are almost 2 weeks before the end of 2020, this super strange year that I think is going to be engraved in our memories with its own peculiarity and the challenges that people faced in a quite massive way during this year. So let's take it from there and let's start saying what are the challenges that most of the times we face when we have this desire to get our goals. My experience shows me that one big issue, and actually the only big issue we face when we want to succeed in our goals, is actually our own fear. It can be one fear or many fears, but actually in the end, when we chunk it down and when we see that we work with that and we deal with that, so we actually improve ourselves and we are a personal work in progress, we find out that there is one big root, one big fear that makes us stop, makes us feel reluctant, makes us feel quite uneasy, and so we avoid getting our job done, our goals done, and we stop ourselves just before the success. And I say just before the success because sometimes we're so near our goal, we don't even see it, and unfortunately, we quit at that moment, and then we don't see the fruits of our effort, the fruits of our entire superpowers that we can apply and we can use in order to have a better life, the success we want, the professional status we want, and all these qualities of the well-being that we dreamed of. So, what happens with this fear? There are lots of recognized fears. We share them, most of them. One fear is the fear of failure. We are totally afraid that when we try something, we're going to fail, and that is linked with another fear. It's the fear of success. Some people are afraid that if I succeed and if I do something different, what actually will happen is that I will have to change my life. So I will have to change my environment. Maybe I will have to get to know other people, and will my friends, my old friends, and my family will accept me with my this new me, this successful me. And so you may feel that this is quite strange, but I've heard lots of my clients when we were searching into deep into their fears that one basic thing that would stop them from their success was exactly that, the fear of being totally different, the fear of doing something much better from what they've known so far in their lives. And they're afraid that if they do that, the people that they already have in their lives will not accept them. And that was a very basic obstacle, and they were stopping there. Exactly, they could feel that, oh, I cannot succeed right now because if I do that, my brother, my mother, or my friend Sheila, or my friend Jonathan will not talk to me again. And they were so discouraged by this whole situation. So another fear, apart from the fear of failure and the fear of actually success, is the fear of rejection. It's the fear that it's quite connected with the fear of success. It's the fear that if you choose to do your own dreams, people will not accept it. People will not accept that you have this specific dream. I've seen clients of mine that when they wanted to do something that their community was finding, it was completely wow, it was completely oof. um, they were afraid of doing it. For example, I have a client that when she wanted to open her own e-shop, and that was during the very difficult financial crisis that started in Greece in 2010, and she decided that this is the moment that she wanted to open her own e-shop. and she could believe in that, and she had all the skills to do it. She knew about financial issues, so she knew about telemarketing, she knew about social media, she knew things like that because that was her studies. What made her stood behind and stop was the fear that other people were criticizing what she was doing and would say, "What, right now with all this crisis, you're going to start your e-shop? This is so strange, you're going to fail." And it wasn't until we worked together and she started facing this fear, and she could see how this fear, that actually it was an illusion. You know, fears, they don't have dimensions, they don't have material, they don't have power unless we give them our own power. And the moment she could see that that was just an illusion, she decided that she will do this e-shop. And right now she has an e-shop that's 9 years after she started in finally in 2011, and she has a beautiful e-shop that's actually thriving, and it has great orders not only from Greece but from all of the market internationally. And now people just admire her because, wow, how could she possibly imagine that? And how could she possibly have this prophetic vision to start something during those dire years? Yes, you see, when you actually succeed something, people start to accept you the way you are. But when you start speculating and when you say you explain what you want to get, people can be very reluctant and can be very discouraging. So I open a parenthesis here. It's very, very useful not to say to many people what you want, not to explain your goals to everybody you see. You have to explain it to a very selective part of people, group of people. That's very important. Why? Because they will understand you. Who are those people? Actually, it's your coach, your mentors. You have one or many mentors, I don't know. Sometimes, usually, we have one. Your coach is a business coach, is your life coach, whatever you like. Uh, Yes, Greek women cannot be stopped. Totally with you, Constantina. Nice to see you here. And we thrive, and all women thrive, and I'm very happy that we thrive. So you speak with your coach, you speak with your mentor, and you speak with your tribe. What is your tribe? Your tribe actually are people like us here, the community. They're those crazy people with those same similar mind interests. You're the people that actually have the same flame as you. They have the same desire that we want to succeed. We want to do that. We want to be creative. We want to make things work for our lives. We want to start building a profound and sound level of well-being and of success for us and the people we love. We want to offer our unique superpowers and our value while we succeed with our goals to our community. So you can talk with other people that they have those similar interests, and they will totally understand you. And the one is going to encourage the other one. The success of the one is going to motivate the other one, and the progress of the one is going to inspire the other one. And that's how we use the tribe. So for example, I have a lot of friends that I really love. I know them for a lot of years, and with many of them we had a childhood together, and I really like them. But some of them, actually, they are employees. They work probably in the public sector or the private sector, and so they are independent jobs that they have a specific salary. If I start discussing with them about my professional ventures, actually the first thing they do is they look at me with awe and fear. What are you doing there? This is so dangerous. You're not allowed to do that. You know, are you going to do that? Are you working on your own? And you have clients? How you have clients? Because actually I am of those one of those women that Constantina says in the chat that started my business in Greece during those very difficult financial years. I returned from France, from Paris, where I was studying and working in the National Center of Research there for 7 years, and I returned back to Greece in 2008. So I started my practice in Greece in 2008, and I could hear a lot of people talking to me and say, what, are you going to open your own practice right now? This is so dangerous. And what, you're going to open it to that specific place? Because I've decided after a market research that I would open my first practice on an island and not somewhere where it was very much populated. And I decided to do it with very specific parameters. The parameters were that it would be without advertisement. It would be without saying, this is my first practice, a psychological practice here, because I knew how the communities on the island are very closed and people are very reluctant and afraid to go somewhere because of what other people would say or tag them. He is the crazy person or the strange person, that they're going to a psychologist and they're asking for advice. And finally, after 3 years of working without accepting any no and providing my work and doing a lot of projects and pro bono projects for the community there, actually my name started being heard in the community. And the people were coming to me because somebody else told them that I had very good results, and people were coming to me. And still right now that I've transitioned to the coaching last year, I still accept calls because people know other people that they have worked with me and they heard that I was very good at my job. So that was because I said no. That was because I closed my ears to the people that they were saying what I was doing was strange and was dangerous and will fail. And that was because I couldn't put them into my own vision. My own vision was very clear. I could see it. I almost imagined the first office before even going there, and I could see it, and it was exactly like that. And when I entered inside, when the real estate manager showed me my first office, I started laughing. And he said, "Why are you laughing?" I said, "Because I know this place." And it was built just at that moment. So this was my first proof, my first undoubtable proof that I don't have to depend on the opinion of other people. And I could see that with my clients as well, my psychological clients and my coaching clients. The moment they had a vision, of course, they had to be very careful. They had to be very realistic about what they could do. They could measure their powers. They could do tangible and researched steps, very careful steps. But that was their own crisis, their own critic ability to understand their own judgment. They could not depend on other people's opinion because the other people cannot understand what is your potential and what is your commitment. The other people cannot understand what you are really ready to give in order to succeed your own goals. And most of the times, the other people speak based on their comfort zone. And what I've heard so many times, people were saying, "Oh, come on now." Uh, when I hear that, "Oh, come on now," instead of, that sounds interesting. Could you tell me more about your plan? Then I say, this is not a good place to discuss your own goals. So be prudent, um, protect your own goals, and don't share them with people that they're not ready to accept them. Okay, so just share them only with your mentor, your coach, your tribe, the people that will understand it, the people that will actually give you a comment that will provide value to your goals and that will actually give you ideas and motivation to move on and start building it and continue building it. And people that will give you ideas about how dealing with a matter that right now seems like an obstacle, and you will deal with that and you will move forward. And I close this parenthesis, and sometimes I want to connect the parenthesis with the fears. we share our goals with other people because we want their approval. We want to know that what we have in mind is actually correct. That people will say, yes, you have a nice idea. Oh, come on, guys. We know that we have a beautiful intellect. I've seen people succeeding in things that other people wouldn't imagine they could do. For example, there was a woman that she didn't finish school. She was hardly she had studied she had already only studied with to the juniors high school. The only thing she could do was that she was a seamstress and she could do some couture. She was really good at that, and she had married and she had got divorced and she had 4 kids, and she wanted to actually help her family and provide for her family and provide for her kids. People would say that she was a lost case. What she did during these years of crisis in Greece, it was that she found a little spot in a very frequent market area, and she rented a small shop that was about 50 meters square, and she opened her first studio there, seamstress studio there, and she has started working with her own art and her own tenacity. And what she managed to do is that after a while, she went to a bigger studio, and were people all around the market area there, the neighborhood, that were going and they were taking their clothes to her, and she actually also employed 3 new people, and she gave job to 3 more people. She managed to buy her own apartment. She managed to send to the university her kids, and she managed to have her own well-being and her own new relationship with a very nice guy. Why? Because she never accepted no. She never accepted other people's opinion about this difficult financial crisis, about things like that are impossible, about, hey, how can you do that with 4 kids? That's impossible. But she never took a no for an answer to her own dreams. And this is very important. I also have another client, and when I'm saying that, I'm really very happy and very proud for them, and I really admire them, and I like to tell them that because these women are superheroes, and I know that in this community here, there are a lot of superheroes. I'm so glad to be part of this super community. So I have another client that she decided when she was 43 years old that the financial crisis in Greece was not helping her develop her own dreams. She was a financial expert. She has studied finance. She's super good in what she's doing. And she was a CFO in one company in Greece. And finally, when they started saying to her that there are going to be a budget cut and you are not part of the new situation, she decided to leave. She went to England, and that was a totally different area, different laws, different systems there. She found a job there. And actually, right now, people in her second contract there, people want her to be permanently in a high post in this international company. So she managed it. People were saying to her, what? You're so old to go and start a new career. Who's going to hire you when you're 44? And you're going to have so many expenses and rent an apartment. You know how expensive London is? And your English is not so good. You don't have the British accent. And how are you going there? You need to study a lot in order to know very well the English laws about finance and everything. She never accepted any of those comments. She stood by her own dream. She stood by her own goal. She used a method, a tenacity. She was patient, and she was persistent in what she was doing. And right now, she feels totally justified about her decision. Right now, she's back in Greece due to COVID, and she works from distance from her Greek home to England. And well, whereas other people unfortunately face a lot of difficulties about losing their jobs, she's there with her new job in England working from Greece. And that's because she never accepted no. She wasn't frightened of what other people might say. She only took care of her own fears. So if you listen to other people's opinions, actually, it's like taking on your back the fears of other people as well. You don't need them. We already have our own fears right now. We are already afraid of our own fears. We need to take care of them. We need to deal with them. We don't need the fears of others. So we need to take care of our own and get off this load from ourselves. So the problem is that when we have a goal and we really want it and we really desire it, we need to overcome those fears. And some people will tell you, those great, amazing achievers will tell you that I took my fear with me. I grabbed it like that, and we traveled the path together. It's really important to do that. And if you ever read or heard some teachings of Pema Chodron, an American amazing Buddhist teacher, she recites a small history that's very strong in one of her books and teachings. It's about an Eastern teacher, and he trains his last student. The last student is a young girl, and in the end of this training he tells her that right now I've trained you, I've taught you everything I knew, and now you really, in order to see, to find out if you are correctly trained, you need to give your first battle. You need to deal with the beast of the fear. And he helps her take all of her weapons, put them on, and the armature she has, and she goes to deal with the great beast of fear. And up to a certain point, she sees the fear, the beast, the monster. It's a huge, disgusting, bad, ugly, smelly beast. And she looks at it straight in the eyes, and she tells to the beast, I salute you, big monster of fear. I came here to kill you. I want you to tell me how I will do that. And then she stands and she doesn't move, and she looks the monster in the eye. And the monster says to her, I will make you feel fear. I will make you feel your knees are going to tremble. I will make you feel your teeth move and hurt. I will make you feel sweaty. I will make you want to go back and run. But whatever I will make you want to do, never, never obey to what I say to you. And what this beautiful story tells us, that the first thing we need to do when we deal with fear is to recognize it and to respect it, because it's a part of ourself. It's a part of our inner being. It's a part of our life. It's a part of our personality. If we don't respect it, it means we don't respect a part of ourselves. And then how are we going to move forward if we don't have our wholesomeness and our entirety in order to be the whole power of us, the whole strength of us that is going to succeed? It's very important. The second thing is that when we see fear, we talk to the fear. We want to understand what the message that this emotion gives us. And so we start listening to it, and we have our eyes open, our perception open to the messages fear tells us. Most of the times we don't do that. We actually throw it back, and we do things in order to cover fear. So actually we don't get the message. And if you don't get the message, you will never find the solution to deal with it and to move forward. And the third very important thing that this story tells us is that when you listen to the messages of the fear, you just analyze them. You know them. You know what fear wants you to do. Quit, run, go back to your comfort zone. That's what the fear wants, always. Nothing else. It's simple. But once you know those things, once you decode those things, take the fear with you. At every step you move forward, fear will tell you exactly the same thing. Go back, go to your comfort zone, cover yourself. So take your fear with you. One step ahead. The fear will always tell you the same thing. So there's no need to do it one step before, just do it one step ahead, since the message is going to be always the same and it's going to be always avoid one. Okay, so that's what we're doing while we're coaching. That's what we're doing among other things while we're coaching. But the very essential thing is that we deal with our clients' fear. I remember one day that I realized I had a fear when I decided to make a very long trip and a very interesting and hard training in Buddhistic meditation. It was a great program. It's called Cultivating Emotional Balance, and it was in Thailand. I would spend 6 weeks there with very strict ways, with a total silence, and we were going to have a training of Buddhist ancient meditation methods plus modern scientific techniques about regulating emotion. It was a very strange emotion for me because I was preparing myself with studying and material for 6 months before going there, because it was a very demanding training. And I realized that 1 week before catching my plane to go to Thailand from Greece, I was feeling numbing and I was feeling trembling and I was feeling that I could not feel my legs and my feet, and I was feeling paralyzing. And then I realized that no, this is not something dangerous like a neurological condition. This is my fear. I'm super afraid because I'm going somewhere that is completely unknown. And I say, okay, just do it. Paralyze me, make me feel dizzy, but I will go. I will decide and I will go. And screw you, fear. I will take you with me, and we will see who's going to be more frightened in the end, you or me. And when I said those things to myself, I realized that this emotion was becoming smaller, and in the end, it vanished. And actually, this was one of the greatest experiences in my life. And if you ask me, I will do another one again and again and again. The moment the lockdown we have here in Greece stops and we can fly again for free all around the world. So see what your fear is. uh, there is when you have a goal and you say, no, let it do it later, and when you see that you're procrastinating or you find excuses not to put your goal in action, or you suddenly find some weird obstacles that something happened and you cannot do it, then fear is behind all those things. So if you cannot deal with the fear or all by yourself, definitely ask for help. Ask for help from your coach, from your mentor, and from your tribe, and from people that they have dealt with this kind of fear, and that they have dealt with goal setting and goal achieving, and they know what it is to create. Create is not just a straight line going upwards. Creating and goal setting is like a roller coaster. It goes like that. And we all deal with that every day. One day it's amazing. I'm the king of the world. Wow, this is me, total success. And the next day you feel like you are, my God, the slave of the slaves. You want to cover yourself because everything is completely destroyed. And this is a total catastrophe. That's not the idea. But once you feel like that and still you keep on, that means you are an achiever. That means that you're going to succeed. You are destined and doomed to succeed, actually. And if you accept that, if you do that, then you know that this is a mechanism of success and you will make it. Because in the end, you're going to find out that this roller coaster actually, it has a tension to go higher and higher. It has the ups and the downs, but all the time is in a higher level. But once you're in that specific moment, you don't feel it. But you need to have the assistance of other people, the specialist that will tell you what it is what happens at that specific moment to give you perspective, to help you deal with the fears. That's the work I'm doing, like as a success coach with my clients, and that's what I want to tell you right now before closing my video for today, that I have a super offer for a free session, how to deal with your fear and how to grab your success and thrive. So if you want to have a free session of coaching session to clarify those things with me, you can DM me, or you can apply on the link I have just in the description of this video, and we can book your own place immediately. So enjoy your week, deal with your fear, and we'll talk to you next week. Bye bye.